What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel. You're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear here. And today I have another quick unboxing video. That's right, got this package in the mail here, and I'm going to be sharing that unboxing experience with you guys. My thoughts, my first impressions on the knife. You may already know what knife is in here based on the title and thumbnail, but just know that going into it, I am blind. I really don't know exactly what knife is in here, so we're about to find out together here. So doing the honors today, we have the CJRB Ekko, right? This is the Ekko from CJRB. This one came out, I want to say, around the same time as the original CJRB Pyrite. I got the Pyrite Alt here as well. And even though they have similar profile in a way, the Ekko has a little bit more belling. And what I like about the Ekko too is it has the button, it has the pill shape opening hole, but it also has that front flipper. And man, that front flipper works really well executed. This one is a Ray Laconical design, and I think he just knocked it out on this one. So yeah, these are some of the most fidgety knives that CJRB has to offer, and I've been just rocking the Ekko here for quite some time, and just having a blast with it. Especially that front flipper is money, super ergonomically friendly, and it's going to be doing the honors today. Of course, this knife and any other knife that you see in this video will be linked down below, so if you want to check out prices, availability, and things like that, then definitely check out those links in the description and pinned comments. They do help out the channel at absolutely zero extra cost to you. That being said, let's go ahead and make a cut there. Right, this is your typical small rate, what is it? Small flat rate box from our good old snail mail service. And let's go ahead and open right here, shall we? Bada bing, bada boom. And what do we got? What do we got? It looks like a package inside of a package. That's always fun. All right, so let's see what added some additional safety or barrier of cushion right there. So, all right, check this thing out. All right, I'm growing a little bit impatient right here, so let's do that. And hopefully I didn't actually cut through the box. There we go. We're getting deep into the layers here. Man, I want to give whoever sent me this package some extra credit for, proper packaging. There we go. And believe it or not, guys, after a while, we are finally inside. This one felt a little bit lightweight for some reason, and it looks like this is exactly why. We have a Benchmade, ladies and gentlemen. Benchmade. This time we're going to be checking out the Redoubt. I would think it would be the Redoubt, like the shootout, the Bugout, but there's a B in there, so it's the Redoubt. Okay, black class, Benchmade, and we got CPM D2 manual open. Okay, so sounds to me like it will be a kind of maybe budget offering, tactical everyday, with of course the axis lock from Benchmade. So let's not waste any time and dive in here. We got the pocking peanuts in there for additional cushion, and we have the Benchmade use and care manual in here. So if you want to take a look at that, you're welcome to pause the video, which I am recording in 4K, by the way. So guys, let me know if that 4K definition on this iPhone is coming through clutch or not. Are you guys able to see the additional crispiness? I don't know. Let me know, because it definitely is a much larger file size. So without further ado, here it is. Here is the Redoubt, I think is what it's called, the Benchmade Redoubt. So first impressions, we got the FRN handles going on. And what comes to mind is this frag pattern, sort of very small squares put together here, frag pattern. Very grippy, right? Like these are very proud frag pattern looking squares right there. Also from FRN. Let's get them SMR points in there, because why not? Very interesting and different clip on this one. Here's a clip that I haven't seen in any other Benchmade so far. It looks like this one could be reversed to the other side. You just have to unclip the one screw and put it on the other end. Of course, we got the axis lock. All right, if you guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and get this thing open here, shall we? Bam. All right, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The Redoubt. CPM D2 on the blade. This one looks to have a black coat going on, right? Matches the black handle. So you got that murdered out aesthetics. I know some people really love that, to have one knife or some of their knives with the murdered out all black. I believe this one is probably going to be on washers. I know for the most part, a lot of the other axis locks from Benchmade, they put a lot of washers on their axis lock knives. I believe that's what we have going on here, right? Drop point blade, nice little switch right here towards the top for some personality. We got the Benchmade logo on the show side. It says CPM D2 on the other side. So again, it makes me think this knife is definitely in the budget category. D2 is not, it's a good budget steel, right? Not a premium steel in any way, shape, or form. Check out the additional sort of lines right here in the handle, right? Those are add additional grip, right? You got lots of jimping right there with the cartridge liner, which I'm sure goes all the way to the screw right here in the kind of the little insert section right there, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, these are definitely cartridge liners. The rest of the handle is just hollowed out FRN on this one. And it's had a brain fart there for a second. Forgot it's trying to say FRN, but I couldn't think of it for a moment. So ergonomically speaking, I can tell you right away, all right, this feels good in the hand. I like this sort of like round back end here, right? Handle kind of goes from a thinner section to a little bit of a thicker portion. That helps with the grip. And man, that jimping everywhere, up here, down here in the handle, even in the sort of like the finger guard section here for your index finger, there's jimping going on left and right. The only place they didn't do jimping was on the blade, where your thumb sort of tends to land naturally. So maybe I would have preferred a little bit of jimping right there on the blade. I noticed they didn't do that on the Bugout either. Sometimes because of how thin the blade is, I'm not sure why they choose not to do jimping on the blade. Would have been nice. No finger choke option or sharpening choil here, perhaps. Will be a little dangerous to kind of grip it this way, so you'll have to be very careful if you do. The edge, the corner of the edge is right there, so you're probably going to be most comfortable here. That is the hammer grip, and so you can see I have average hands. They're not the biggest of hands, not the smallest of hands, and I'm still able to get full purchase right on this knife, right? That is nice and loaded. So as Nick Shavas will say, if you walk into the Vaseline factory with this knife and you have so much like jimping and lines and frag pattern and cartridge jimping and everything is like so grip, and that should be the family of the griptillion, because there's so much grip going on here. So if you walk into the Vaseline factory with this knife, you should be a-okay. You should be just fine. There's just a ton and tons of grip with this knife. It feels nice and loaded. I was gonna say lock and loaded, but it definitely feels locked into the hand, and absolutely no doubt about that. Of course, we got the axis lock, which we have Benchmade to thank for. Nowadays, their patent has run out, so everything else we see axis lock like is going to be a crossbar lock. So many companies call it something different. I believe Kershaw calls it the Duro lock. Some other companies have a specific name. For the most part, we refer to it as a crossbar lock, but it started here with Benchmade and their axis lock. And of course, we got this bar right here, which locks the blade in place. Pull back on this bar, and then the blade is free. Works really good for opening and closing the knife. All right, nice and smooth. I can see this one's a little bit broken in. So this is not a brand new knife out of the box. This one is coming to me via the Apex Knife Pass Around, which I'm truly grateful for, really appreciate it to be part of that group. And I'm sure this knife has already seen some use. Of course, you guys know the drill by now. This is just an unboxing first impressions video. I'm going to be carrying this knife here for some time before dropping a comprehensive review right here in the channel. So we got some similarities here in a way to the Bugout, right? Similar sort of construction, right? Where the stub pin is located and things like that. The fact that it uses a cartridge liner to save weight. The fact that it is all FRN. So, I mean, being a perhaps medium to large knife, which is what this is, it feels pretty light. Like there's definitely not a ton of weight going on here. So let me give you guys an idea here with my scale. And yeah, there we go, 3.8 ounces. That's not bad. It's definitely not 1.8 or 1.9 like on the Bugout, but still, right? That is significantly light for, being such a, large, recently, decently larger knife than the Bugout. So that is not bad. Some of that Bugout DNA here, right? The lightweight, the FRN. So not exactly sure on the price on this one with the BND2. But keep in mind, it is made in the USA, right? So knives that are made in the USA typically are going to probably cost a little bit more than knives that come from out of the country, right? From overseas. in most cases from China or Taiwan or other countries outside of the US. So there's that to keep in mind, but it is D2, so I don't really see this one costing a whole lot. Obviously, by the time you're watching this video, I would have already looked it up and linked it down below. So you're welcome to check those links. Of course, again, I'm just checking out this knife for the first time. So again, these are just my first impressions on the knife. So let's do some size comparisons, shall we? Let's do the usual suspects. All right, perhaps the most competitive company to Benchmade, also USA made, is the Spyderco. And here we have the PM2 and we have the Para 3. So definitely very along the lines of the PM2 for sure. So yes, it is a large EDC knife, no doubt about that. Demko AD 20.5, and here is the Shark Cub. So larger than the regular AD 20.5, obviously larger than the Shark Cub right there. Here's the Civivi Vision FG, very popular from last year. So is the Sentinel Strike. So a little bit shorter than the Sentinel Strike, but perhaps, yeah, it's certainly just a tad bit bigger than the FG. And last but not least, rocking a crossbar lock is that Vosteed Raccoon. And we have that CJRB Pyrite that we looked at the beginning right there. Take a look. So these are going to be perhaps in the medium category, whereas this Redoubt is definitely going to be a little bit larger, right? Perhaps a 1/4 inch on each end, maybe a 1/2 inch overall. But again, the idea here is just to give you a ballpark idea where this guy lands, so you know more or less if you own any of those other knives. Let's do our very scientific paper and cardboard cutting test just to see how this guy is retaining an edge. Let me see. Definitely feels like a very toothy edge. And by the way, D2 is not corrosion resistant, so I'm glad it comes with a black coat. That's definitely going to help with longevity, right? Making sure the D2 doesn't corrode over time. And here we are, you got some everyday notebook paper. Yeah, definitely biting into that paper like nobody's business. Check out these swirls over here. And it goes into the paper really, really good. That's really sharp D2 right there. Check out that swirl over there. So yeah, thing is going to cut through that paper very, very effortlessly, as you can clearly see. All right, so we know I can do paper. What about some cardboard? I got some everyday single wall cardboard right here. Keep in mind, when cutting cardboard, cut perpendicular. Don't cut perpendicular, but rather at a diagonal angle like this. And it should look something like this. Here we go. Yeah, that cut really good. Check that out. And I'm doing it a little bit slower. I'm trying to, the rhythm, I'm trying to slow it down so you guys can see the action a little bit better. But right, once it bites, this is a flat grind. Once that edge goes in, it is cutting really, really good. All right, let's gonna flip it. Get some more cuts on this side. And yeah, it's gonna go through cardboard really, really well. And I'm sure every other material for that matter is gonna go through just fine. And this is not even a factory edge. Well, this is the factory edge, but it's not brand new out of the box. Keep in mind, this one has already seen some use as part of the Apex knife pass around. And yeah, it seems to be holding a pretty good edge. You guys be the judge. Let me know in the comments how much of an edge has this one retained. How sharp is it on a scale from 1 through 10? Of course, 10 being the sharpest. Let me know in the comments. Got some good alignment on this one, right? That blade is smack in the middle. It actually goes in very flush with the handles right there. So you can see, again, very, very interesting deep carry pocket clip, which actually ergonomically, I mean, it sits very close to the handle itself. Someone might argue because of the aggressiveness on the frag pattern right here, how that goes in and out of the pocket. So I'll definitely be testing that out, letting you know for the review video. Something that's unique to this pocket clip versus other pocket clips on Benchmade knives is they have the butterfly logo printed once again in the pocket clip, right? So if you didn't know any better, you might think that's kind of looks like the Batman logo or something printed right there on the pocket clip, but that is the butterfly Benchmade logo right there. So they're kind of, you know, taking a little bit of a page out of Kershaw's approach, because I know Kershaw likes to overdo their branding with the Kershaw on the blade and then Kershaw on the clip. So this is just a very subtle way of doing it. So if Benchmade started going this route, I really wouldn't mind it all too much. And other than that, it seems like it should be fairly easy to flip. right? Just a one screw, right? You would just take it out, flip it, screw it from the other side, lanyard hole solution right there for my lanyard people. Good comfortable access to the access lock, and yeah, washers on here. So once you kind of get a feel for how much flick of the wrist you have to do, right, it's pretty good. That reverse flick, right, that feels good as well. Just got to make sure your index is away from the access lock, and that's pretty good, right? I feel like you could almost do it with, you could do it with the meat of your index finger, or you could do it with your nail. Oh yes, that probably the way to go for me right there, especially since they made such like this concave curvature right here, indented section on both ends. That really helps you get your finger right up in there, the fingernail, and bam, get really good leverage on that thumb stud for reverse flick. Of course, the default thumb stud also feels good. In this case, we don't have a detent. The lock bar is acting as the detent, so whatever pressure you can build on the initial deployment, that's what you're working with. And of course, you could do a axis lock deployment. It is an ambidextrous knife through and through. So here's my very untrained left hand having a good time with it, even though I rarely ever use my left hand for knives. And yeah, it makes sense that they pair it up with a reversible pocket clip. So good stuff going on here. Very interesting model from Benchmade, the Redoubt. So interesting marketing choice there. Instead of Redoubt is the Redoubt. You know, so this one's from 11/22 of 23, part of their Black Class series, D2. Let me know your thoughts on this one, guys. Again, it will be linked down below if you want to check it out. I'm not sure availability-wise. This one should be available. I don't see why this would be a limited knife in any way, shape, or form. So definitely check it out. I'm curious to know if this would be the only option available. Maybe they probably offer some different handle colors, perhaps a satin finish D2 blade. I'm a sucker for those. I would definitely dig that. Maybe with a nice stone wash finish or tumble finish or something along those lines will be pretty nice. Who knows? Maybe even a premium version with S35VN. I'm not sure. So I'll look these up and try to link as many of them down in the description as possible, as well as every other knife that you saw in this video. Also be linked in the description and in the pinned comments as well. Guys, let me know what you want to know about this knife for the review video. Again, these are my first impressions out of the box. Pretty sharp, pretty slicey, good carry, comfortable and grippy. Right? Good functional grip going on here through and through. So you are locked in every time you are making your cuts or what have you. So a very, very interesting knife from Benchmade. I will be carrying this one and, of course, coming back to you with a comprehensive review. If you made it this far, you are the real MVP. Smash that like button for me for the YouTube algorithm. Certainly helps the video reach a larger audience. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel and you enjoy EDC and knife content like this on a daily basis, you might want to go ahead. I highly encourage you to subscribe. I promise you'll be worth coming back for more. And if you want to support the channel a step further, there's a link for Patreon in the description, or you can simply support the channel right here on YouTube by becoming a channel member. That being said, check out the unboxing on the overdue CJRB Ekko, right? One that I've really been meaning to check out for a long, long time. And I'm finally checking it out here, carrying it. It is a great experience. Super fidgety, multiple deployment options. Lots of great things going for this one. Also at a great price. So I'll put a video card for that one right here on the left. And I'll put a random Benchmade video that YouTube thinks you might like here on the right. So check either one of those out, guys. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here until the end. And I'll catch you guys on the next video, either this one or this one. Peace.